What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about 3 stocks that you need to add to your watch list for this upcoming week that could have a good likelihood of a squeeze. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, when it comes down to this week, there is a lot of big data coming out, more specifically CPI. So if for any reason it is significantly lower than the expectations, this is where you're going to see a huge influx into a lot of, I guess, meme stocks, if you want to consider it that way. So when it comes down to it, first stock I want to bring up is AMC. So the earnings didn't necessarily go as expected, but still, generally, there is a lot of big moving parts behind the scenes, including the SEC, White House, that have started to really come forward that they want to stop naked shorting. So for instance, to a meme stock such as AMC, definitely will work out in its favor. And that's not even counting, like I said, with CPI that's coming out, as you can see back on Wednesday. But when it comes to it, for the 1 year for AMC, it is down 34%. From Friday, down 0.51%. And year to date, it is currently up 49.87%. So definitely a lot of good things behind the scenes, and the data kind of speaks for itself as well. So short score is currently 88, utilization is 100%, and as far as what Ortex is showing for Friday, they returned 296,000 shares, but 25.23% of the free float is being shorted. So that's relatively high, and 130.27 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 333.99%. So very high in my opinion, and the max being 339.1%. So behind the scenes definitely has everything for a good squeeze. And like I said, especially with all the news and PR that's been coming out about a lot more institutions and just governing bodies starting to really look at naked shorting and just shorting in general, could very much help AMC. My own opinion, of course. And when it comes down to the technicals though, there's a lot of different moving parts that could really justify it. So just pulling up AMC. So currently it's on a fairly good trend in reality. So a little bit more of a FOMO leading into their earnings. But of course, when it comes down to, for instance, a short squeeze, there is a huge amount of shares being shorted. So 131 million versus the average volume is almost around 28%. So hypothetically, it could easily go up very, very high. So I don't know enough to say if it can go to around the $16 range, potentially, but I think AMC is the pivotal meme stock. So if there is going to be a mother of all short squeezes that does occur, then it would happen to most likely AMC. But moving on from that, there is good old Lucid, ticker is LCID. So 1 year down 59%, year to date up 25%, and just from Friday it was up almost about 4.5% or 4.7%. So Lucid does have their upcoming earnings after hours on Monday, so May the 8th. That could definitely prompt a little bit more of a potential rally because of that, because I think there's such low expectations for Lucid that anything positive could really give it a good justification. And when it comes down to the whole EV sector, I do strongly feel that it is still going to be the next big thing. A lot of people are saying that it's a bubble. I kind of disagree, especially based on this as well. So even just in the States, now a lot of the new houses have to be able to handle charging EVs. So definitely, I think it's moving in the right direction, and this is just the tip of the iceberg on how big EVs are going to be. So Lucid is definitely one of them, and their short interest and data points, I'll kind of validate that as well. So short score is currently 93, utilization is 100%, and keep in mind their short score is higher than AMC's, so just be aware of that. And from Friday, shorts did return 394.41 thousand shares, 22.72% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be around 145.61 million shares. Cost to borrow average is obviously not close to AMC, so 23.81% is the average, but still fundamentally Lucid has had everything possible for a good squeeze. It just missed out on a good catalyst, and maybe the upcoming earnings or potentially unveiling of the gravity might be that surprise catalyst. And finally, the third stock is good old Beyond Meat, tickers BYND. Over the 1 year, down 67%, year to date up 4%, so not necessarily as high as I would have assumed. 1 day just from Friday, it is up 0.62%. But it is just the more fundamental data points behind the scenes. This is why Beyond Meat is, for instance, on here. And so right now, short score is currently 94, utilization is 100%. The percentage free float on loan is 42%, but yet the short interest is around 35%. This is absolutely huge. And based on Friday, shorts returned about 455,000 shares, 20.03 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 30.47. So it's the data points behind the scenes that's putting Beyond Meat on here, especially going back over here with CPI. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on all three of these picks in the comments below. And potentially if there is another stock that maybe you do think that is going to squeeze, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, there is a good promo with MULN, link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for a free account, you get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So even if you just do that, take advantage while you can. And plus MULN does also offer $0 commission, free level 2 trading. So kind of a win-win. And on a side note, someone did ask me last video, if you are looking for instance for Seeking Alpha, a lot of good content here, SEC filings, press releases and so forth, all in one location. Take a look at Seeking Alpha. I do have a 7-day free trial for you guys to take a look at. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on any of the stocks this week.